everybody, and welcome to Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, here with you for another Wednesday evening of talking sports in Western Oklahoma. High school, college, anytime a professional athlete's career touches Western Oklahoma, we'll touch on that as well. Joining me, as he always does, the sports director for Wright Media in Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City, Luke Clement. Luke, how are you doing, my friend? Hold on just a second. Let me get you up there. And how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Chuck. How are you?
Man, doing good. Coming off of a big win for the Weatherford boys last night against a ranked Bethany squad. Girls almost
comeback victory.
Yeah, comeback victory. They were down at the half, and not quite getting the game that they usually are used to, but they came out of it. And I thought there was going to be a lot of action last night on the network, on the Wright Media Network, but it ended up just being us and Watonga and Sayre, which that's 3 out of the 7, I guess.
A pretty tame night on Wright Media. It's simmering down with Hydro Weekly and Thomas beginning playoffs this weekend. They were not on the schedule this week, so it's getting slim pickings almost.
You're having to dig a little bit for you'll be running an American rodeo for
exactly.
here before the end of the week. Well, and I know you had a busy weekend because there were teams in action on Friday and Saturday as well in Western Oklahoma. And actually, while we're talking, I need to change out the banner there. So now we've got the Western Oklahoma Sports Night banner up there instead of Lawdog Sports, even though we are powered by Lawdog Sports with all the social media pages. And you used the little clip of the interview we got from Coach Bull post game last night, and I suspect a quiet confidence from Coach Bull. He knows what he has in his team. I think he knows what they can do on any given night with an opponent. I don't think anything's left a chance, and I think generally he's going to probably going to be able to outdo a lot of coaches in Western Oklahoma and Class 4A.
No doubt. I think the Eagles last night being able to score 46 points and knock off a top 15 ranked team says a lot about their defense and the culture that they have on that side of the ball. I really like listening to Derek Bull interviews. He's a man of a few words, but he gets his point across, and he's easy to clip for the radio.
Sure, yeah, he's learned the rigmarole, I guess you could say. But a few basketball games last night, and we'll probably get to some Class 2A stuff here in a minute. Playoffs are coming pretty quickly. Class 4A down to 2A. We'll have another, I guess we're probably looking at another 8 days of regular season, and then they'll start the district playoffs on the 21st, which is about 12 days away or so. But like you said, Class A and B will get going, and that's when you'll be shuffling to get those scores all rounded about.
That's I enjoy filling out brackets and searching for scores, and it's a busy time of the year, so it gives me something to do, no doubt.
Yeah, and we may get Justin Jefferson on here in a little bit, as he had said he could probably come on tonight and talk a little bit of Clinton Red Tornado basketball as well. I got to think, and I'm not saying this facetiously or anything, but they have such dominant soccer programs. I bet there are kids, that probably don't play in the basketball programs, but are just bated breath, ready to get out on the pitch and start dominating in soccer again.
I would believe so. A tough pull for Clinton basketball, having to go to Weatherford basically back-to-back games after the regular season finale.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Clinton is ready to get some soccer going.
Yeah, and then also, for Weatherford's part, if you win against Clinton, then you take on the winner of Elk City and Woodward. So feasibly, if I had to, make a pick, I would say Woodward would defeat Elk City because they've got a lot of talent. Caden Gaines, 6'8", great player. And man, that would be the 5th time that Weatherford would play Woodward this season. I mean, it's just insanity. And, and then if you don't win your regional, you could end up playing them again in a consolation bracket. So, a lot of reason to, like Coach Bull said last night, take it one game at a time and worry about the next opponent. But Sayre went to Watonga last night, and you probably monitored both of those games for Wright Media, since Watonga and Sayre are on the network. Let's go ahead and go to our friend Max Patton out in Beckham County, and he is the voice of Sayre Eagles Sports. Maxwell, how are you doing, partner?
I'm good. How are y'all, fellas?
Now, is that Bad Bunny I hear in the background in your house?
No, for sure. It's not Bad Bunny.
I had a neighbor post a Facebook deal today, and I'm not trying to delve off into something else, but it said, y'all didn't seem to have a problem with Spanish language back in '93 when it was the Macarena. I thought, well, you got a point. Max, rough night last night for both Sayre teams. Girls really got out to a slow start, and maybe it's due to Watonga having a pretty solid girls team. What happened last night on the road at Watonga?
Well, in the girls' case, first of all, they played the night before against Sentinel and had an outstanding game. Didn't come out with a victory, ended up losing by 2. But so the combination of dead legs, quick turnaround, long drive, and then Watonga girls are bigger, stronger, faster, and that's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, I didn't really expect Sayre to go in there and win the ball game. I thought they'd play, they'd compete better. And in the second half, they did. I mean, it didn't really show a lot, but they were completely overwhelmed in the first 8 minutes of that ball game. I mean, it was bad. But they hung with it, and I was pretty proud of them for hanging, because they could have just checked out. I mean, It was that bad that first quarter, but they didn't, and they continued to fight. And Watonga left, most of their starters in through the entire game. And they kind of mixed and matched a little bit in the fourth quarter with some of the girls on the bench, but he didn't get really deep into the bench until a minute and a half left to go in the ball game.
Yeah.
So Sayre's, was playing good players all the way through, and it wasn't horrendous in the second half, but there's no doubt that Watonga is a better team, and that's just the way it is. It's not on the girls necessarily because they don't know how to play, just they're shorter and slower, and it's just that kind of thing.
Luke?
Max, one thing that I've noticed watching Watonga basketball this year, they're another Wright Media school, is Harmony Daniels, their sophomore guard. I think she probably averages 20 points a game. Talk about her a little bit.
She could have scored 50 last night if she wanted to. She was all over the place. She's really good. And I would give, for her, or just because of her, I would give Watonga a shot to go all the way, really. I mean, she's just she's a player. And was she just a sophomore?
I do believe so.
And, I mean, they're going to be tough for long. I mean, I don't want to see them 2 years from now. I guarantee you that. Sayre and I'll be putting them on the schedule because we won't want to mess with them in 2 years. They'll be really tough. She was really good. Matter of fact, I would even put her in the top. She might be in the top 5 of all the girls we've seen this year. She's pretty salty, and probably definitely top 10 in this Western Oklahoma as far as from 2A down. And she's pretty good, and she knows how to get through traffic. She knows how to avoid the contact, and she knows how to play through contact when she needs to. And she rebounds the ball well. She handles the ball well. I didn't really find any flaws in her game.
Max, Sayre starts district on the 21st, like the other classes that aren't A and B. Hobart, I guess, is the destination. Is that correct for districts?
Yes, that's districts, and it's actually the 19th for Sayre at Hobart. They got a Thursday ball game, and it's really going to be tough for the girls down at Hobart. Hobart's another good team. A lot of size, a lot of physicality there, and so it's going to be tough. But the one thing for going for Sayre girls is they really don't care how good you are. They're going to come out and compete. And if Hobart has a bad night, you might just watch out because you get yourself in a bind. And Sayre, they can take advantage of it. The girls can shoot. Lila Whitney, Ava Woods, Lainey Easter, for sure. Lainey Easter Layla Stout, they can all make a 3-pointer anytime they need to. And, if they get hot from the 3-point line, put in 10 or 11 3-pointers, who knows,
Well, and that was the season opener against the Lady Bearcats, and that was 63-28. That seems like an eternity ago, December 2nd. I mean, so many teams develop and so many teams, there's changes, there's injuries with teams. So, I think probably Coach Stacy Wilson's going to look at it as like, girls, we're nothing. We're 0-0. We're starting this up. Don't worry about the previous stuff. I will say this, looking at your schedule, I want you to do your dangdest because I'd love to see Right Media have to exit the Frederick gym coming up this week or next week. Your trip to Frederick, don't mouth off too much about the officials. We don't want to see you having to load up Drew and the camera crew and leave early.
I've been telling everybody that listen, we need to show up down there with buttons that say, I heart refs. And everybody needs
the home team that's the target, and the home fans that are the target in that gym.
Some signs, get the cheerleaders to work on some cheers. We love referees. Yes, we do. We love referees. How about you? I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's funny because Weatherford played Tuttle on Friday and then Elgin on Saturday. That was a makeup game from back December 2nd. And 2 dudes got kicked out on the Tuttle side Friday night. And then a lady got kicked out for the Elgin side on Saturday. So the administration and the referees at Weatherford are not taking anything too lightly. Now, they didn't target an entire fan base, but they did show some folks the exits. And I thought Friday night, a couple of them, the 2 dudes, I didn't think they were going to go. They were getting a little bit lippy with the administrators, but they were just down for me because I'm sitting on the visitors lower section side now. But it's just one of those situations where I had to deal last night with a fan base that was chipping at the refs during JV games, and it's like, folks, come on, give these guys. I mean, if you're reffing a 4A JV game, don't expect Ed Hockley or something like that.
Yeah.
Just play it out.
Well, fans got to learn. I have to learn. Sometimes just better just keep your mouth shut. When we played Hollis that night at Sayre, the game, Hollis, had a pretty good hold on the game, but Sayre started chipping away, and the Hollis fans started getting a little edgy, and they had a couple calls go against them in a row. And there was a time where all the fans stood up. It was in unison. Just everybody stood up, giving it to the refs. And I thought, we're going to have ourselves an issue, and but I think that probably empowered some referees too. I get it. I've been on the side of that deal. But to me, I focused on what was inside the lines.
Yeah.
And I always thought that if I was hearing people in the stands, I probably wasn't doing my job very good.
Sure.
Because
and that's kind of what I got into last night, because in the past I've let opposing fans kind of get under my skin a little bit, and maybe a little extra emphasis on let that eagle soar once more, but, I through the wonders of pharmaceuticals and then also just kind of taking a step back. And then also just all you got to do is say, looks like Coach Derek Bull's just really livid with that call. I think I threw that on Coach Callie Hayworth last night, and I don't think she really was. But before I start bashing the referee, I threw her under the bus. So anyways, but hey, real quick, I mean, you're out there in Beckham County, and I would have to say, just looking by the record and the results, that the Merritt Oilerettes are probably, you'd have to say, the best girls team west of Highway 81. Would that be a fair assessment?
No. Canoe girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Canoe girls are the best team in Western Oklahoma.
Okay.
I'd second that.
I'll tell you right now, when I fill out my bracket, I'm picking to win state. And I'll tell you now, I'm picking Canute to win state next year, and then Canute to win the year after that. As long as Jaylee Gray is playing for Canute, then I'm going to pick Canute to win state. They're really good. And she's just a freshman, and she's not she's not the only thing on that team. I mean, they got a lot of good girls.
They have a senior who just hit the 1,500 point mark,
Yeah.
Destiny Jackson. She's been really good for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
That's why I pitch it out to you. You're in Beckham County. You can correct me on those things, even though Canute's in Ouachita County, but whatever.
Well, yeah. And not that I'm right, but
no, I mean,
but of course I am. No. They're really good. Merritt is really good also. I think I worry about Merritt a little bit, not because we're rivals or anything like that, but I don't think they have the depth that they have had in the past. There have been times when the year that Merritt won state, they could go 10 deep and really not hardly miss a beat. They're not there this year. They're probably only 7 deep. And they're just, they've still got a lot of talent, but they're just not quite as far down on that bench as they have been in the past. And so I think for that reason, they're a little susceptible. And maybe that's why Canute got them, this last time. But Canute is really salty, really salty.
Then also, Luke, I think I tagged you on a tweet or a post. A boy from Lokiba Sickles hit the 1,000-point mark, I think, last night. If I didn't, I'll find it again. And
so I'll have to look at that. I don't know if I saw that today.
Yeah, I think we'll keep track of that. But A and B getting their playoffs underway, and we'll talk to Luke here in a little bit about Hydro Eakley, and he covered the game also the Ouachita Valley Conference Championship last weekend. But Max, right now with the state of where the playoffs are and the draw you guys got, what are you looking at as far as the boys' action? I mean, what are they looking at with dealing with Hobart?
Well, Sarah, again, we talked about it went all the way back to the first game of the season, and it was first game with a new coach, and so they're still figuring things out, and they did not play nearly as good a basketball as they're playing right now. And I was just looking for, we went on the air, what Hobart boys record was. And I think it's the same as Sayre's at this moment, which would be 10-11. It's the first time Sayre has won more games this year than they have in the previous 2 years combined. I swear to God, I put that on because I didn't want you yelling at me.
Somebody got a busted water heater in Elk City.
I swear I put that on airplane mode. Anyway, it could be a good game. When Sayre plays a full ball game like they did against Sentinel the other night, they're pretty tough. And
throw it away. Is that what that was?
You're like a progressive ad.
Yeah.
Bundle your home auto coverage like your parents.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be a pretty fun ball game. Now, the regional is going to be tough. I mean, you got OCA; they're number 2 in the state, and that's who Sayre would get if they win. More than likely, I mean, OCA's got to come down and take on Merritt, but I really don't think Merritt's going to challenge them. And if Sayre loses, then they're going to get Merritt boys. And same thing, Merritt handled Sayre pretty good, but Sayre played for 3 quarters like they did last night against Watonga. Last night we get beat by 20 points, but they were down 30-10 at the end of the first quarter. And I guess it was 21 points because Watonga beat them by 1 point the final 3 quarters of the ball game. So, Sayre's got they've got some talent, and they're figuring it out, and they're playing better than they've played all year long. So, I wouldn't sleep on those boys. I really wouldn't.
Well, we'd love to see. Go ahead, Luke.
I think you got a really good inside presence with Tate Bodden. It feels like he's really upped his game the past couple of weeks.
Yes, he has. He really he is so unselfish. that at times I think it even hurts him a little bit because he'll get the ball down there, and I think he needs to just get up and go score, and he'll find the open guy and pass it out. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Earlier in the season, more often it didn't, but guys are starting to figure it out. Jakeem McCullum is a guy that has been playing really good the last 2 or 3 nights, and they need him to be able to step out there and hit a 3-pointer. Tate can really do it. 24 points last night, and that was just all rebounds and putbacks. Them finding him in the paint and him creating stuff for himself. He did a really nice job last night, and he can carry this team. He really can. He just has to decide that that's what he needs to do, and they'll go a long way behind him.
Good deal. Max, where can people watch Sayre Eagles sports?
Right Dot Media. Go to the Sayre icon, the real Eagle icon, not the fake one.
Don't get mixed up. There's only 3 of them on there.
I stole a catchphrase from you. I fully expect you to start using "Let That Eagle Soar." So
let that eagle soar. Yeah,
right. Wrong Eagles last night for you.
We needed the soar last night, but we couldn't get out of there fast enough. That was, those Watonga boys play pretty good, and
that's a good trip too. I mean, from Sayre to Watonga is a bit of a clip. So, hey, bud, we appreciate you coming on with us. Always great to talk to you. And man, maybe we can all jump out on the golf course here before long and hit Riverside or something.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, he's Max Patton. Who's with you, Max, on your call? Is it just
me?
Okay. He is
we're poor out in Sayre. They don't give me any help. So.
All right. He's the voice of Sayre Eagles basketball. Thanks for joining us, Max.
Thanks a lot. See you guys.
All right. And I tell you, Luke, we're going to be paying pretty close attention to Class 2A, being that Watonga and Sayre are both in that class, and there's not a whole lot of 2A teams out this way. I mean, it's like them and Hobart and maybe Granite.
Granite's B. You got and all the Western Oklahoma teams in 2A are in that same area with Watonga and Sayre. You got Cordell and Hinton in there with them, and Merritt. All those teams are in the same area.
Well, let's talk a little Class 4A basketball and bring in the voice of Red Tornado Hoops. He is Justin Jefferson. He has the call for Clinton basketball. And Justin, a little tough stretch over the weekend, but talk about the Red Tornadoes and how they did on their games.
It's one of those struggle seasons. I mean, we had some sickness going on with the Lady Reds. Last couple games, we only suited out 6. We were starting 4 freshmen and a sophomore, and then bringing a sophomore in off the bench, and that's all we had the past couple games. And when you're playing teams like Elk City and went blanking who we played, the Kingfisher. Yeah, Kingfisher. Yeah. When you're playing two teams like that, ranked teams like that, I mean, you're already not in a good position. And then when one of the people you're missing is your best 3-point scorer and one of your leading scorers on the team and you're only senior, I mean, it's just not a struggle for success or not a success formula at all. Yeah. And then the guys, it's been so weird. Like, they'll get off to hot starts. Not really the Elk City game, but ever since we really come back from the storm, I guess you would say, the snowstorm against Bridge Creek, against Cache, we get out to really good starts, and then it just seemed like at quarters we just struggle to finish quarters. Like, we'd get a lead like 6 or 8 points. I didn't want to say the other number.
Thank you.
6 or 8 points.
6 to 7 points.
And then by the end of the quarter, the other team's taking the lead with like a buzzer-beating shot or something. It was just like deja vu. It seemed like it happened like 3-4 games in a row. Yeah. Or we'd just be on a run, and then all of a sudden, the end of the quarter, just struggling to finish.
Yeah. Well, and look, you go here in a minute, but I know that, we're talking about Kingfisher. I mean, you're talking about, I think I see them as potentially being a semifinal team in Class 4A girls basketball. I mean, they've got a lot of the pieces. I don't know if their guard play could hold up to. I mean, sure, depending on. I think they're going to Cushing for area or wherever they're going to have that, but losing to Kingfisher can be done pretty easily in a lot of ways. But no, I tell you what, you guys still have a fairly tough schedule, and I'll give you the heads up that Bethany likes to work it down low, and that Cameron Regier, she's a load to deal with down there. She had quite a few on us last night.
Unfortunately, we saw them in the Duncan tournament earlier this season, and I want to say it was 50 or 60 point loss there.
Yeah, they
it wasn't pretty.
Well, go ahead, Luke. I'm sorry.
The game that you guys had six players, Riley Rodebush, she is the upperclassman in that game, being the sophomore, and she just continues her consistency, scoring 16 of the 18 points. Just talk about how she's been able to provide for the Lady Reds.
Oh my goodness, she is the most aggressive player, and I made a joke with her at church on Sunday. Actually, I was telling her, I said, "Hey, out of all those points you scored, there was one moment where there was a girl from Kingfisher going for a layup, and Riley's normally in foul trouble. I mean, that's I mean, she plays so physical. I mean, her boyfriend's a fullback and defensive end on the football team, and she kind of plays like him. I mean, they just play like it's football. And the girl from Kingfisher was going for a layup, and I thought Riley was just going to send her into the stands. And then she kind of does the little like Olay thing. She looked like she wanted to foul, and then she like puts her hand back and lets the girl go up for a layup. And I was like, that might be our power play of the game. But she's been awesome. I mean, even last year, she kind of had to have a bigger role than she was probably comfortable being with. She's done a lot of the ball handling this year, especially when Ella Redchin's out. I mean, you'll see her bring the ball up the floor a lot if the other girls can't get it across half court. And she's the one consistently going to the hole. I mean, that game she scored 16 of the 18. She had all the points until a minute left in the game.
Wow.
Like, Paisley Rule got 2 free throws being fouled in the backcourt. And if she wouldn't have had those, Riley would have had all of our points. That's just the kind of player she is. She's taking on that leadership role, and she's trying to show by example.
Well, Justin, you've got a little bit of a connection with the girls' head coach for the Clinton Red Tornadoes.
Just a little bit.
So, I mean, I'm seeing posts for some of the success of the middle school teams. Is it something that we can say there's help on the horizon coming up within the ranks of Clinton girls basketball?
Definitely so. And the 7th grade gets a lot of hype. I mean, for those who don't know, he coached in the AAU squad called the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of players that have come from that. I know, I believe Cheyenne's entire starting 5 was on that Ravens squad, and you see how good they are down in Class A. He's had some girls from Duke. He's had people come up from Anadarko play for him, but that's entire starting 5 for the 7th grade girls. They've just been playing together since they were little. My niece is on that team, and then but the main player for her name is Catalea Hudlin, and she's also happens to be my cousin. So there's a lot of family connection.
Who's not your cousin in Clinton?
Right.
I'm telling you.
I feel like I'm related to half the town.
If they're not your cousin, you've welcomed them into your home.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But that squad, I think they won the championship game of their tournament by 8, but they've been beating teams by like 20 and 30. They just won an 8th grade tournament up at Stillwater.
Yeah.
And I think their closest win was like a 20-point win against Stillwater in the first round.
Wow.
And then the 8th grade girls, I mean, they have a couple athletes too. There's one girl, her name is Alasia Lacey, and she'll be a pretty good basketball player, but in track, a lot of people are expecting there might be a lot of school records gone by the time she's done with high school. Like she already holds almost any middle school event that she does in track. She holds the record for the school record for.
Well, it's always fun to have some track standouts. I know Weatherford had a lot of success with some of their track athletes on the girls' side here in the last several years. But well, and we want the most competitive sporting events we can have. Football delivers. Baseball's pretty competitive, and I'm talking about the Custer County rivalry, Custer County conflict. Soccer is pretty one-sided for the most part, but I think Weatherford does give them a game in most instances. But honestly, I mean, looking back, the last time Clinton competed with Weatherford in girls basketball was when your niece was there, Carmela. And she was a great ball handler, great scorer, had a lot of game, and even she had trouble overcoming what Weatherford had going then. But I got to say, I mean, I think right now we could be in a cycle where with the work your brother's putting in, they're going to potentially have a chance to turn the tables.
Oh, we hope so. And I mean, even just next season, I mean, just getting players healthy that we had out this season. I mean, you saw Arlena Kirkendall goes down in the game against y'all. She could have been a big help. We haven't had Brooklyn Aston all season. She got hurt over summer volleyball. And so she's been out all season, and she was the starter for us last year.
Yeah.
And she was kind of one of those, I mean, she didn't really necessarily score a whole lot. There'd be some games where she'd get up to 8 or 10 points, but she was kind of another one of those tough defensive presences that could, I mean, honestly, Riley wouldn't have been in as much foul trouble if we just had Brooklyn out there.
Well, and Riley Rodebush is a lot of fun to watch, and she's she gets out and competes hard. Justin, on the boys' side, it's been a struggle at times. Coach Sider, what's he doing to try to keep the kids motivated and keep fighting?
So I think an issue we had, especially middle of the season, it just seemed like there was an effort thing. This is Coach Sider's second season as being a head coach, period, at the high school level. I mean, he'd done it at middle school, but when he came from UConn, he was an assistant at UConn. And so it's just kind of finding his way, kind of figuring out how he wants to do with rotations and stuff like that. It seemed like at the beginning of the season, we play about 11 or 12 guys. And it was just kind of, there'd be sub in and nobody really had the opportunity to just kind of get hot and get going. And then kind of lately, he's kind of brought the rotation down. He'll play about 7 or 8 most nights. And it kind of allows people to get in rhythm. Like when we played Elgin, we know how much Elgin struggled, but they had one kid that was shooting really hot, and Ronnie Richin had 0 points at halftime. By the end of the game, I think he's got 14 or 16 just because, I mean, getting in a rhythm, being used to being with the same 5 on the court, and he's finally found his spot, and they were finding him on the court. And then, then Titan Malone's been just huge for the Reds lately too.
I've got a theory on Ronnie Redshin. I don't think he's been as effective since he cut his hair. I think it's like the Samson effect. I think he should have never cut it.
So not to be a downer, but I know in Native American culture, when they cut their hair, that means there's a death in the family.
Oh, okay. Well,
and he lost his so beginning of the season, he actually missed the first 2 or 3 games because he lost his brother.
Oh, okay. Well,
and so it's kind of been a struggle this season for him.
That's sad. And he's a good kid. And, honestly, I mean, there's kids that for Clinton that I think have gone out there and really competed well and just not gotten the notoriety because of that record. Who was the kid 2 seasons ago? Native American kid.
Oh, if you wouldn't have said it, I'd remember it. It's gonna bug me.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna bug me because he was a really hot shooter.
He was, and I talked to Coach Bliss about him, and why wasn't he even on he didn't even make all district, I think. And it's like, how does that kid miss out on all district? And he didn't really have an explanation as to why, but like I said, we'll do our best, and I know Luke does anytime there's a Clinton Red Tornado on the hardwood, hard on the court, showing out to give them some exposure and things. One thing is Clinton needs to get a Twitter page going. Because I know I retweet a lot of stuff. Luke's doing stuff with the 97.3 The Score page. Clinton gets their highlights and stuff on Twitter. We can maybe get some word out there, but no,
yeah, I think they do. I think they do Facebook, but that's
do.
about it for the older generation.
Hey, what are you talking about? Luke, you got something for Justin?
Yeah, Justin, you mentioned Titan Malone, how he's just really been the go-to guy. What's gone into him finding his game?
Just being a senior leader. So I was telling Coach Sider, one thing I noticed. So I try to do my senior interviews at halftime through the middle of the season, and I'll talk to them, and then I'll give them a chance to like shout out anybody they want to. And just about every senior guy player, besides Titan himself, mentioned Titan. They're saying, "Hey, shout out to Titan Malone for being our leader." Just for how he plays and stuff and just making me better. And I was like, that's
So,
a sign of a leader. He's not saying anything and everybody else is just bringing him up without me saying his name. And so it kind of goes to the leadership and shows that's not just a deal in the game. It's in practice. He's doing it off the court with him.
yeah,
And
That's
they really follow him. And you can tell it's a different team when he's not out there. We're up on Cash by 4 in Cash with like 6 minutes left. He picks up his fourth foul, has to sit on the bench. By the time he comes back in, we're down 10. We're playing Elk City the other night. He hits the shot to tie it up. He fouls out. We don't score again.
So he's the catalyst for sure.
He's definitely the catalyst, and he gets other people their shots.
Justin, Ethan Laughlin has a good game. Is he able to get his game going this season, or has there been something holding back, or what? I mean, I expected him to be a factor, and kind of. I mean, of course, you've doubled your win total from last season on the boys' side, but still, some of these games. What's Ethan Laughlin what's he dealing with to try to get his game going?
I think part of it is just it seems like it's been a confidence thing. It's kind of one of those if you see the ball go in, you're getting a lot of playing time at first. It just builds your confidence up and you feel like you can take on the world. And when those shots aren't falling, we kind of switched to a different offense there at the beginning of the season. We were trying to be more post-centric. And his thing is, he's a big body, and everybody wonders why he doesn't go down low, but then he'll have that game where he scores 20, 25, and he's made like 4 or 5 3-pointers.
Has he had some of those games?
Not real. There's a game I think he had 12.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember who
he's got a great corner 3 shot. I've seen him hit from corner threes real well.
And see, lately, he hit a big 3 in the Elk City game to pull us within 3, but he's mostly been focused banging down low. A lot of times they'll try to put somebody smaller on him, and he'll just try to back him down, take advantage of him, and then double him. I think one thing that would really add to his game, if he could get that Jokic passing out of the post game going or whatever, he'd be really dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. So any festivities at the Tornado Dome on next Tuesday for Weatherford coming over to Clinton?
It's going to be senior night, and it's kind of one of those situations, get to play all twice in a row, and
I was gonna say it'll be
familiar. That's not really been fun for us.
So that'll be 4 times for Clinton, and I told Luke that we, in essence, if chalk were to hold out, either way, there's a chance we could play Woodward boys a 5th time, and the girls face the Woodward girls a 4th time. So it's just craziness out here in Western Oklahoma trying to keep 4A teams. I think I told somebody today, I said, the minute that Weatherford saw Woodward entered the Chickasha tournament, we should have just said, nah, we'll find another. But the thing is, I'm old superstitious. I go back all the way to 1988 with OU in Kansas, and it's hard to keep beating a team multiple times, and that goes for anybody. You just I don't like facing familiar opponents that much. But anyways, well, listen, I won't be there Friday. Mike Smith will be filling in for me. So be sure and help him out a little bit when he gets there. He's used to the big dogs there at Pioneer Event Center, but he's going to fill in for me Tuesday, and then I will see you when we play districts. I'm guessing that's Saturday the 21st.
Yes, and it'll be one of those. It'll be interesting to see how that goes, because it's kind of one of those, I called it from get-go, where I knew there were going to be 4 teams we could face. It was either going to be y'all, Bethany, Douglas, or Kingfisher, because they were the only schools that we could realistically go to for district that had top 10 boys and girls teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew with our record, that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about the draw, because at least playing y'all, it's somebody that both boys and girls, they've grown up playing against Weatherford.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those, when we lose against y'all, it's not from intimidation. It's just y'all are the better team.
Yeah.
But then the girls, they could possibly play Woodward, and I will rewatch that game. We were down 5 with a minute left in the game. And then free throws kind of turned that into a 13-point game.
Woodward girls are kind of a mystery to me because they've got height and athleticism. And I know that Kaylee Mills, the 5'10" forward they have, she's kind of a catalyst down low for them. She was injured through middle portion of the season. I'd have to check with Tyler Riggs to see if she's back. But that Woodward team, I mean, some nights they come out blazing, and some nights I think they got blown out by maybe by, I think I forget who it was, but
I think it was Elgin, yeah.
Yeah, and then they didn't put up much fight against Kingfisher in the tournament, but it's just one of those things where on any given night with them, I think, and that's the thing. Quick exit question, Justin. I know you've got stuff to go do. Elk City is Campbell Garbarino back, and how did they look with her in? I think she is back. How'd they look if she was?
She actually did not play.
Okay.
And I know from, I think what Skinny had mentioned, I think she had kind of tweaked something against Elgin that game before. And I mean, honestly, it's a game against you're playing against a 2-win team that it doesn't matter how the score goes, because the playoffs are already set. So why risk it?
Yeah.
In that kind of game. So I'm wondering if they just held her out to be safe.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be a big difference on if they make the area tournament or bow out early. She's on defense, but right now their big go was ball.
Yeah.
The ball girl
Ball.
She's filling it up lately. I think in the past 4 or 5 games, I think she's averaging about 16 or 18 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they've got the outside shooters, and that's where Garbarino makes them dangerous, because she can draw attention getting into the paint.
Kaz Ulrich is a monster on the boards.
That's another one that she benefits really well when Garbarino's in there drawing attention, and she's burned us in the past, last year, in fact.
Yeah.
So, all right, Justin. Well, sounds like you got a busy youth group there on a Wednesday night, so we'll let you get to them.
Oh,
and, we sure appreciate you taking time and visiting with us and talking about Clinton Red Tornado basketball.
All right, thank y'all for having me. Good luck the rest of y'all season, Luke.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Chuck, good luck when y'all don't play us.
Yeah, I mean, let's just pray. Let's play for some competitive sports. That's. I think I want my team to win, but I also want to call it competitive games. It's
Hey, and by the way, I'm calling it now. Don't be shocked if you see the Hydro Bobcats in the state tournament.
I like the confidence.
They are. I love watching those guys play. They are. If y'all would be ranked if y'all started the season how y'all ended it.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. Well, take care of yourself, Justin. We'll talk to you real soon.
All right. See you. Thank y'all.
All right. He's Justin Jefferson, the voice of Red Tornado basketball on the Right Media Network. Find them at right.media, Red Tornado TV. And interesting segue there, Luke. So we'll go ahead and let you talk about the Hydro Eakley Bobcats. And I'm assuming he was talking about the boys.
I think he was mentioning the boys. Yes, I think he's mentioning the boys. I know his I think he's told me before that his boss's son is Kellen Props, who is a junior starter on the Bobcats team. But Hydro Weekly, they pull Wayne for district playoffs. They will host the Bulldogs, and they got a friendly area: Canute, Thomas, Burns Flat, Dill City. So a familiar foes in the area tournament. I think with the boys, it's going to come down to the guard play. Hudson Warner and Peyton Liley, they have been super, super reliable all year long at the center and the power forward position. It's going to come down to Kellen Probst and Jackson Wool, uh, Alex Gomez, your three guards, and then all of your reserves. If they're able to knock down their shots when they get their looks, that's what's really going to push the boys' team is your guard play. On the Lady Bobcats, really, I think it's going to come down to the defensive side. The last two games against Thomas, that's what they've played back to back, and they really just kind of got ran out of the gym. Thomas was able just to run up and down the floor, really stifle Hydro Weekly offensively. I think Lady Bobcats didn't even score 30 points in the first game, and that was the high against Thomas was 27. So it'll be interesting to see what happens for playoffs. I'm excited.
Yeah. And you were, talking about the Thomas game, and Thomas is one of those interesting teams going forward, because on any given night they could probably shoot some teams lights out.
Yeah.
It's just, I think they're one of those teams that everything kind of has to fall into place. Would that be safe on the boys' side?
On the boys' side, yes, I would agree. They have a lot of talent. The two Freimeyers, Kaysen and Carter, they can shoot the ball. And then you have Ty Littlebird, who is just a phenomenal athlete. You know that from watching him play quarterback the last couple of years. He'll run the point for the Terriers. And then they have Gunnar Bennett, who is a force inside. He is a big, big cat. But when they all can click together, they're a force.
Yeah. Well, and looks like regionals will be held at Canute.
Yes,
and
that's
so,
the sub site.
Yeah, the sub site, and then you may get a chance to go to. It looks like area. If you go to area, you'll be at the Stride Bank Center in Enid. That's where I called my first area tournament for Weatherford back in 2022. And that was an interesting year because Clinton and Weatherford both had regionals and area in Enid. The regionals were at Enid High School, and the area was at the Stride Bank Center there in Enid. So interesting. But Hydro Eakley, and they will, I guess they will match up in regionals with the win. If they win against Wayne, they'll match up against the winner of Thomas and Burns Flat Dill City. Is that correct?
Canute or Snyder, I do believe. If they win, they'll get Canute or Snyder, and District 8 and 5. So it's either Canute or Snyder they'll pair up with.
Okay, so they do a little oppo from what 4A did.
Really?
Because I looked at it last night because I thought, well, no, I'm sorry. They actually did it the same. It's just they positioned Weatherford and Clinton in different
districts.
In the 6 and 7. Oh, dang it. I did it again.
I didn't even catch it. You could have got away with it.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be fun, and the playoffs will get going, and that's going to be a extremely busy time for you as things just really get going and popping with pretty frequent results. As we mentioned, in Class 4A, districts will start on the 21st, and then they're going to have the second or the first round of regionals on that next Tuesday, which will be the 24th.
A little weird.
Yeah, and then I believe, looking at it, it will be, if you win, you'll play on Thursday. No, if you lose, you'll play on Thursday. If you win, you'll play on Friday. So
are you talking about in regionals?
In regionals, yeah. So
I think if you win your district on Saturday, you have to come back 3 days later and play on Tuesday.
You do. That'll be your first round of regionals, and then if you win that, your regional championship game will be the next Saturday. So
I'm following. Yes.
Yeah. So I kind of hawed around it. So, but no, lose on Tuesday, and I think you have to play back on Thursday, and then and then
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday if you keep winning. So
I don't like the new setup of the bracket.
no, I'm not crazy about that as well. Tuesday games, it just kind of. I mean, I know they've got to get things underway quick because there's so many freaking classes as they have now. That B1, B2, that I feel for you, man. Trying to keep up with teams that really, they're in the area, but they're not on your network. It would be tough.
Especially when they were all in B just a couple of seasons ago. Now you have
exactly.
you have that many more papers you got to print out.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it, and in the boys rankings, B2 has Dover in it, and that's if you're not aware, that's Jared Reese is the head coach at Dover. He's the former head coach at Kingfisher, who won all those state titles during that run that they had. And he's got them at 23-2 and number one in Class B2. But then Visay is right behind them. But I'm looking down the road, and all I see is anything in our area. Visay is kind of more Woodward, I think, but Leedy and Sweetwater, and then that's it as far as B2. But then you go up to B1, and you've got Sentinel, Bingeroni, Calumet, Fort Cobb, Broxton, Hammond. I mean, that's going to be your meat and potatoes right there for covering the B2, the B1 playoffs. And
there's some B. See, now they're all running together. There are some games that start tomorrow. I know, like the Mountain View Godebo boys play tomorrow. The Sentinel boys play tomorrow, or Sentinel girls play tomorrow. Fort Cobb, one of the Fort Cobb teams play tomorrow. So there are some Western Oklahoma teams starting playoffs tomorrow in the smaller classes. Well, and so Friday night, I'm on the road to Blanchard for a big game, especially on the boys' side. That's going to be a Blanchard team that is ranked. They finished out the final rankings at number 7, 18-3 on their season. Weatherford boys go into it ranked. They finished out ranked number 6, 21-2. So that's going to be a big matchup. They won't face each other unless they got into the state tournament because they are not in the same area. But and then it would be all about the seeding. But Blanchard has a good squad. This late in the season going into it, I know Weatherford wants to play well and set the tone. It's going to be tough, I think, going on the road this late in the season. But I will say that the defense that Weatherford can employ, because I'm telling you, Luke, last night, just on paper and looking at the physical appearance, Bethany boys look like they would just kind of bull rush us. And they've got a kid that's 6'4", 6'5", probably a solid 230, 240. I heard that in Bull's interview. Shocked me.
Breck Brady is his name, and his father is former OU tight end from the 1990s and a Putnam City West grad, Ricky Brady, who had a cup of coffee in the NFL as well.
So runs in the genes is what you're saying.
I think he's way bigger than his dad, but he is a big kid. But made some buckets down low, but he had trouble dealing with the post defense of the Weatherford Eagles. And then another kid, Denton Jaggers, he's 6'4" and just athletic as all get out. He was a load to deal with, but Weatherford, man, they just they keep you away from doing what you need to do, and they outscored Bethany, I think 30 to 14 in the second half. So I mean, you can win a lot of games coming out. Even if you trail by 1 at the break, you go out and pitch a 30 to 14 second half. You can come away a winner a lot of times,
especially doing it against a highly ranked team. Like I said earlier in the show, I think that says a lot just about the will and the effort that team is willing to play with. It's very impressive. What have been some of the past matchups with Blanchard been like the past couple of years?
They come out scrappy, and they've been outclassed. I mean, I'll just say this. I think it was 2 seasons ago, Weatherford played them in area. And I'm actually going to look at the schedule to make sure. And with those past Weatherford teams, you could have a blowout win but there would be like a difficulty scale. Does that make sense? You know
Yeah,
what I
how
mean?
hard it was to get to that 30-point
Yeah,
mark.
yeah, exactly. And so, okay, so it was in 2024. They played Blanchard in the area tournament and won 69-45.
Okay.
And if I remember right, the score was not that far apart going into the second half. I mean, they had a big kid, big 6'5" kid who was wide, and he had been sorry about that. He'd been an offensive lineman on that year that I think that was the year they won the state football title.
Yeah.
And so he, even with our size, he gave us some problems down low. They'll always have, little shooters, kids that can shoot outside. And I think this season's no different, but they're going to be a lot for Weatherford to have to deal with, especially on the road and in a game where you never want to say it doesn't matter. But I mean, you want to go out and win, you want to go out and set the tone. But, if you come away with a loss, it's not, you can reset, I guess you could say. And that's probably not the mentality they want to have at all. But
no,
but still, you cruise in. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is I don't want to see them have a slip up against like Woodward or something in regionals, because like I said, facing a team 5 times in a season, that's just, and I mean, and the thing is, the night before Weatherford played Woodward in the Buckle of the Wheat Belt Invitational, Woodward hung 103, I think, on Chisholm, and
that's
they were
wild.
They were lighting it up from outside. Kid named Gage Hutchins, he was just on fire. At 31 points the night before they played us, I think we held him to 4. So and some of that's defense and some of that's off shooting too. But one thing Weatherford likes to do is really force people out of their spots and things. So Coach Bull does a great job. On the girls' side, I really don't. I've got to do some research on this Blanchard Lady Lions team, but I will say this: they basically. I mean, it's stunning to think that they are 15-8 on their season, Luke. But before last night, which last night was a 4-point loss,
close game.
It's close. You played the clip. It was close late.
Yeah,
and just looking at it going forward is that they, I mean, I think they lost to Tuttle last Friday night. That was a game that we were kind of out of sorts, and I think Tuttle's actually coming along more so than they were, and that's kind of the tough thing about the rankings ending in late January, because you may not catch the rankings, you may not be ranked, and you may be on a heater,
playing your best ball.
Exactly. And whereas Weatherford girls, they're ranked, they're tied for 9th, and they're on a 4 or 5 game losing streak right now. So it's just tough part of the season. But this Blanchard Lady Lions team, they're 8-13 on the season. They probably hopefully the Weatherford girls can go out and play some good tough ball and come away with a win going into playoffs and not extend that losing streak. But it was a rough part of the season. They're coming out of the Buckle of the Wheat Belt tournament with 2 games against Kingfisher. Elgin's improved. We beat them in the Weatherford Classic, but they a girl who had 2 points back in January, Luke, lit us up for 27.
Oh, that's something you don't game plan for.
Yeah, she couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Kinley Garrett, 27 points on Saturday against us, and that just when you lose 55-52, you think, dang, she had 2 points against us in January. It's just you almost feel a little snake bit.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the one thing that the Lady Eagles can remain positive about is those games during those losing streaks, they were all to really good teams, if not ranked teams, and they were all close games. They didn't get blown out, or they were all, if I remember right, single-digit losses. So they're competing well. They're playing into the wire. We've seen that last night, the past couple of games. They're definitely playing for 4 quarters. I don't think it's an effort issue by any means.
No, it's not. And they crash the boards hard. They play physical. They play tough defense. There was a 12-point or let's see, a 10-point loss to Kingfisher. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong line. I think it was a I think the Buckle of the Wheat Belt Invitational was like a 12-point loss, but then they that same week after they lose in overtime to a highly ranked Alva team from Class 2A or 3A, they beat Anadarko on the road. Now, I think Anadarko's having a little bit of struggles as of late, but it's just one of those situations where, and that's what worried me about Bethany boys last night was they went to Anadarko and just smoked them without the big kid. And I just thought, we lost at Anadarko. They shot the lights out against us, but man, don't discount Derek Bull. That's all I got to say, but
I would have to agree.
If they make state, Luke, that would be the 5th year in a row that they would make the state tournament. And
it's a very impressive run.
It would be. And they've got a lot of work to do. Cassia Hall from Tulsa, highly ranked team, is in their area, as well as Bethany, Oklahoma Christian School. And then I think Inola is the other ranked team in that area 1 of Class 4A. But it'll be a lot of fun. You cover SWOSU also. They've got a homestand coming up, don't they?
Yes, the basketball team, 2 Oklahoma schools, 2 big rivalry tomorrow. If you don't have anything going on, get to the Pioneer Event Center. They're playing the Northwestern Rangers. Both teams looking to get a loss back or a win back, however you word that, from a loss earlier in the season. And it's a whiteout, so wear your white SWOSU gear and get loud.
I might have tried. I have a white SWOSU t-shirt. Maybe I can get by there and pull that out. But I generally sit off by myself. So anyway.
Yeah, I would.
I'll say this, and Western Oklahoma is a great place for sports. But I'm going to challenge people in this. I may clip this for a short. Western Oklahoma fans, they need. And I tell you this much: I watched the end of the Elk City and Clinton game last Saturday. Student sections were fired up.
It was loud in there.
Man, Weatherford student section needs to take a page. I mean, that they have been, I'm telling you, I could hear myself talking the other night during free throws or last night. And I challenged them on Instagram. I took a picture of the student section sitting there on their phones. And I said, do y'all even cheer anymore? And I tagged one of the Weatherford Instagram pages and got some interaction. We'll see how that fares. But I mean, you've got great teams. Even the girls, they're struggling right now, but they play so hard. You've got to get out and support them, get loud. And, when that other team's shooting a free throw, I don't care what side of the court they're on, make noise, do something. So don't just sit there. And that goes for all Weatherford fans. Get busy, and we'll hopefully that'll be the case as they're hosting regionals. But SWOSU, I gotta say, just when to me, I thought maybe count them out on their Arkansas trip, and then they both kind of surprise a little bit.
They both in the Arkadelphia trip with a win. I think anytime you can go to Arkansas for a weekend trip and split, it's not a bad trip. I think you're happy with splitting on an Arkansas trip and keeping yourself in the postseason race. They need to. It would really help if they could sweep this week. It would really help them in the standings.
That would be outstanding for sure.
Yeah.
And send Mike Smith off on some playoff runs. How about that?
I would love to have him in Fort Smith for a couple of days and let him come back with the trophy.
That's right. I think maybe the last year I was doing sports director job, Terry Evans won the GAC tournament. So maybe the first year I did sports director, but a great job there. And I like Coach Zen and Coach Weiberg. I think they're doing great jobs. And one thing about the Weatherford girls is Deja Gibbons, a SWOSU commit. And man, she had 20 points last night. She just kind of puts the team on her back and does so much for that team. And got some help last night. There was Ella Strickler had double figures, and so she made some buckets down low against some really tall girls. So they put out the effort for sure. But SWOSU baseball, I noticed, heard your story this morning on 95.5 The Coyote. Sounds like Coach JR Head's got some guys that like to get out and play.
He's got some bats, that's for sure. They put up 24 runs in a run rule victory over Randall University on Tuesday. That would have been yesterday. And on Monday, it was announced by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association that they were ranked 10th in the Central Region. And that's the first time during my 4 years here in Weatherford slash SWASU that I've seen the baseball team get some national recognition. So
Yeah.
a lot of uh, excitement there at the SWASU baseball field.
And a couple of Weatherford kids on that squad too, I noticed. Camden Pasher
Yes,
and
I'm glad you remembered.
Camden Pasher and Minner. Garen's his little brother, but he played at Weatherford. I called his games, but yeah, a couple of Weatherford kids on there, some Western Oklahoma kids. So
There is.
I like what I'm hearing about Coach Head. I would have got out there yesterday, but I had a game last night, and I can tell you this much: sitting out there next to that wheat field this time of year with those pens the way they were, I would probably have not been able to speak by the time I got to my game last night.
There's not much of a wind block out there.
No,
You need to wait till it's a sunny, nice day out there to go watch some SWASU baseball for sure.
And it was out of the north too, so there weren't going to be too many balls flying out. So,
No.
anyways, but yeah, and then softball's going on. I know that the new coach, got her first win, I think, over last weekend. So they've got, and it'll be GAC time real quick, won't it?
Yes, the baseball team, they start GAC play this weekend against the conference champions from a year ago, Arkansas Tech. And then I think the softball team has one more non-conference weekend, one more tournament, and then I think they start conference play. So a handful of more games for either side before GAC play gets going.
Wow.
I'm excited for the baseball team to see how they compete.
That'll be so cool, because I'm going to say this: the spring sports, sometimes golf is like your lone highlight throughout the spring, and then rodeo too. But get those softball baseball teams competitive, and it's a lot funner second half of the season.
No doubt, and especially me, I love baseball. There's nothing like getting out there and hear the crack of a bat, hear the ball pop a glove. It's just it's therapeutic almost.
Well, I will definitely get out to Crawl's Corner whenever East Central comes for baseball and softball. As a buddy of mine that I worked with for years at the police department, he's got a daughter who plays softball and a son who's an assistant coach at East Central. So I told him I'd meet him there. But I always try to, if I get a chance, get by there and catch the game. And I want to see Coach Head's team. And then also, as we get out of here, we found out after our last episode that one of the SWASU football recruits, I guess, has been tuning in to our. We questioned his college, and he picked up on that.
He did. Say that again. I'm sorry.
The Mutter kid.
Yes, Charles Mutter.
Charles Mutter. Yeah, good name there, Charles. I like that
name.
Yeah, Charles Mutter, and it's Virginia where his college was, wasn't it? Or
yes, Emory and Henry, if I remember right. And it's a D2 in Virginia. He said near Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, that's what it was. He messaged us and mentioned Bristol. So I made sure to give him a follow. So we'll look forward to interacting with him possibly down in the road in the future. You're wearing your Dodgers hat. So are you looking for that? Is that green?
It's green, like a lime or like a turquoise blue type of thing, a coral blue.
It's funny. I'm a Rangers fan, but I produced games for the Oklahoma City Dodgers for iHeart for a couple of years. So I always kind of felt, they are the AAA affiliate, so you got to kind of follow them. But I don't like anybody from LA that, so I just couldn't. After they won a couple of World Series, I think I was rooting for Toronto last year. But
I still think about one of the first times I did play-by-play. It was me and you at the I-40 Festival, and it was right when the pitch clock got introduced, and I was talking about a Joe Kelly interview where he's talking about how he doesn't like the pitch clock, and then you jump on the mic and go, "All right, Luke, Joe Kelly's a schmuck. I can't hear anymore."
Yeah. I cannot stand Joe Kelly. Even and a friend of mine who's a huge Red Sox fan kind of still likes him. And I was like, forget that putz. I can't stand him. the way he mouths off to benches is like, dude, one of them guys come out there and just club you over the head, little stick man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes the game fun. That's a great memory because I had forgotten all about it until you mentioned it. I guess last year I helped Cody Allard kind of get going at the I-40 Classic's kind of a break-in for folks.
No doubt.
Jumping in on the play-by-play. It's coming around the corner. It'll be here before long, and Weatherford baseball and high school baseball will get started. Hydro Eakley. Now, does Hydro Eakley kind of have to hold off until basketball's done?
Yeah, probably 90% of the baseball team is on the basketball floor right now.
That's what I thought. So that's the fun part about it, and that's why they can fluctuate schedules and stuff. But and then also, talking about some of our shows and things like that. It's just always really cool, like with Charles Mutter to check in with us, and we've got people watching on social media. So, we want to remind people, feel free to comment, feel free to get on. We'll bring up the comments on the broadcast if you do. So we always want to interact with you. We don't have a live radio call-in show or anything like that, but this is the closest we'll get, and we will strive to move forward and secure guests and visit with people. We like to try to get the roundabout from the play-by-play because those are the guys that see the games. But you do a great job as well obtaining that audio from those coaches and stuff.
Thank you.
Sportscast.
I try, and you sending interviews helps a lot. And Max does his. He does a very good job. I shouldn't even say he does his best. He does a great job on getting the two coaches for Sayer on stream, and it helps a lot when the play-by-play guys are helping.
Yeah, and those post games for SWASU were always helpful with Mike Smith after the basketball games. Coach Weiberg, Coach Zen, sitting down and visiting in the post game. So those always good for securing stories for your daily sports. And then also I noticed, and I gotta admit, I was getting my headphones out of your office the other day as I was doing some work on Coyote Classic, and I saw it posted on your computer. I wasn't eavesdropping, but I just saw a pink post-it, and it said Figure Out Podcast. And I want to apologize because when you took over for me, that's something I should have made you aware of, is that you can podcast your daily sports, and I noticed that you've started doing that.
Yes, the past 2 days I have got the daily sports podcasted. I've been trying to get them on, they're on Facebook, but you can also hear them on Apple Podcast. You can search up Western Oklahoma Sports and listen to them on your phone. If you missed something, didn't hear a story, or want to listen to it again, you can find it on the Scores Facebook, the Coyotes Facebook, and on Apple Podcast at Western Oklahoma Sports.
And see, that's good for me because I don't really get up in time to hear you. So, being retired has its perks, but I did catch you this morning, and a little scared that that there's apparently no doors on the stalls in the boys' room at Cordell High School. That's a little disconcerting to hear that. But,
definitely.
You never know what you're going to hear on 99.3 KCLI.
It can get kind of spooky on there. Let me tell you.
John,
I keep my mouth shut a lot of the time.
I've noticed you're smart. So anyways, but be sure and catch Luke's daily sports podcast, his daily sports wrap up that he does each morning, and he saves that in podcast form, so you can always catch an episode. And then also we will share that with you. You can also follow Western Oklahoma Sports 97.3 The Score on Twitter, and then 97.3 The Score on Facebook as well. And I'm just going to say this, and I've always suggested this: all sports content should be on that page for Right Media. There, or at least I know you share a ton of it. Every sports clip and everything should probably go through that. But hey, they've got a lot of great social media pages. Well, listen, you've got a busy week. Sure, I'm coming up, so I'm going to let you get out of here, and then I'm going to get out of here myself and start prepping for Blanchard as we get ready to go on the road Friday for Weatherford basketball. But, man, thanks for jumping on, and I think we'll, keep working and trying to grow this endeavor we got called Western Oklahoma Sports Night.
I like it. I enjoy doing it and getting to hear from everybody and talking with you.
It sure is a lot of fun. He's Luke Clement. He is the sports director for Right Media in Weatherford, Clinton, and Elk City. catch him on the daily on 95.5 The Coyote, 750 for daily sports through the weekdays, and then 740 on News Talk KCLI 99.3. Also catch catch his podcast, Western Oklahoma Sports, on the daily, and that is also on Apple Podcasts. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. Give us a follow also at Lawdog Sports. We will save this recording and this episode to our YouTube page and also our Spotify page. Talk to you real soon.